Hello, Leo, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. We are looking at all three sides of the connection. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it, the concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle, this middle section looking at what is the deeper purpose of this connection and what is the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. As I do in all of my readings, I've pulled the overall energy and clarified those messages as well as the overall theme for the reading, but we still have 3 different tarot decks we'll be using for each side of this connection. And then I also have this advice deck that I'll be using to close out the reading within the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what doesn't. On that note, these energies can be swapped, so this whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case for you, that is totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point of this reading is for you to take what helps your situation and leave the rest. All right, Leo. On your side of this connection, you have sacrifices must be made with the Fool card. I read this in 2 separate ways, this Fool card. I feel as if you're either wanting a new beginning in this connection or you're wanting to go back to the beginning of this connection. It feels as if things in the beginning were easier, for sure. Now, with the sacrifices must be made card, I feel as if you have been making a ton of sacrifices in this connection. And I feel as if you're making those out of hopes to either get back to the beginning or create some sort of new beginning in this connection. We'll see kind of what Tarot has to say about that, though, because I feel like there's a lot more to that message. But I feel like it's too specific for me to get from just those 2 cards. So this person has unresolved issues with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So these unresolved issues that this person has, this feels as if it's outside of the connection. I don't feel as if this directly relates to you, but the unresolved issues that they have keep them from being able to fully invest in this connection, keep them from being able to give everything that they do have to give to a connection. Now, in between this connection, you have unlocked potentials with the 9 of Pentacles. I do very much feel as if you see the potential in this connection. Maybe you've experienced it, like I said in the beginning, or you've seen the potential since the beginning, which is why you're so willing to sacrifice out of hopes to maybe get there. And I feel like that's what you ultimately desire, is getting to the point of the potential of this connection. The overall theme for the reading is soulmate. So I do feel like this is a very strong connection. A couple of things to mention about soulmates. First and foremost, we don't just have one. There's not one person in this world that has to love us in the way that we deserve, or we're never going to be loved. That's important because sometimes when we attach ourselves to one specific idea of what a person should be in our life, we have a tendency to over-sacrifice, give ourselves to the extent where it starts to be a detriment to our mental and emotional well-being. Second thing is we have many soulmates in this life. Some are platonic, some are romantic. There are plenty of soulmates that we get to experience in this lifetime. Just a couple of things that I felt needed to be mentioned about soulmates. But yeah, the overall energy of this reading is soulmate. So I feel like there is a very strong pull that you both have to each other in this connection, which can make things more confusing and more complicated when you are dealing with, excess baggage from the past or emotional unavailability or things of that nature. So, all right, let's see, Leo. Let's start by looking at your side of this connection. This is Leo's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. All right, let's talk about how we're prioritizing love here. Because it feels as if you have the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, which can be imbalanced priorities, and then you have this 2 of Cups, which obviously means kind of love, union, attraction. I feel as if you have a lot of love for this person. And I feel like you because of this love that you have for this person, it's really hard for you to not do everything that you can to make this connection work. Because you see that potential and you have a lot of love for who they are, and that makes you want to do everything in your power to make the connection work. Now, I do feel with the Two of Pentacles in reverse as if you were maybe on some level prioritizing the love that you have for this person over the love for yourself, because I do feel as if the sacrifices that you are making in this connection have started to harm you in some way, like on a mental, emotional, spiritual level, maybe draining you a little bit. Because if this person has things going on that keeps them from being able to invest, but you keep giving, what's going to happen is, we only have so much energy that we can give, and if we're giving out to what doesn't give back, our energy cup is going to deplete until we have nothing left to give. And I don't know if that's happened to you yet, but I do very much feel as if that's kind of the dynamic that has been in this connection for a while. Now, again, it might not have been like that in the beginning, and maybe you're trying to get back to that, or you see the potential of what it could be, which is why you're so willing to do that right now. But okay, Leo's side of the connection. Nine of Wands, Two of Swords. Okay. Ooh, okay. I feel like you're kind of at a crossroads with this person here, Leo. And it almost feels as if there's some sort of pattern or cycle that's been repeating in this connection. And that pattern or cycle maybe is giving a lot more than you're receiving, or this person saying that they're going to change or things are going to get better, and then that never happens. Something of that sort. It doesn't have to be either of those things. But there's a pattern or a cycle that is repeating in this connection, and I feel as if you're kind of at a crossroads of not knowing what to do. Because on one hand, you see what this could be, but then on the other hand, I do feel as if you feel how this is impacting you on like an emotional, mental, spiritual level. And so I feel as if that's why you're having a hard time. It's like you don't know what to do. And I kind of said that at the beginning, when we see the potential in someone, but that person isn't reaching that potential, we can have a hard time knowing what the best choice is, because on one hand, you might be like, well, if I give up on this connection, maybe I'm missing out on something that could be really good. But if I keep investing, I don't know how much longer I can do that. I don't know how much longer I can handle that. And I feel like you're at that crossroads of not knowing what the best choice is for you. You're drained. It's like the heartbreak that and there's the Fool, waiting on this new beginning, burnt out, and then there's the Three of Swords. It's like you keep kind of getting your heart broken over and over again, and it's starting to seriously deplete you, to drain you. I mean, this is an energy of being burnt out, feeling as if you have nothing left to give, and you're waiting on things to get better. You're waiting on the new beginning in this connection, but it just feels as if in that process, your energy is being drained. And it's been very painful with the Three of Swords. It has been very painful for you. And I feel like that's what the crossroads is all about, is you're like, I keep experiencing this Three of Swords, but I see what this could be if XYZ happened, which I'm not sure what that is yet. We'll have to see when we kind of get over here. But I do very much see that this has been, I think turbulent is a good word. Turbulent for you. I'm doing things a little bit different this round. I'm still going to pull the same amount of messages. I'm just going to flip-flop back and forth. So I'm going to pull from this person's energy now. This person's energy toward Leo. So what are they dealing with? Because I want to know what's going on with them to make you feel like this? I mean, obviously they have these unresolved issues that are keeping them from being able to fully invest in this, but Page of Swords. No, this way. Okay. It's interesting because there's that same Two of Swords. Okay, Page of Swords with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Undervaluing what you bring to the table. But then the Strength in reverse makes me feel like they don't feel good enough for you. So it's interesting that they don't feel good enough for what you bring to the table, but then at the same time, they're not appreciating the value you bring for what it's worth. That's confusing. Don't feel good enough for what you bring to the table, but don't appreciate what you bring to the table. It's not that they don't appreciate you, it's like their actions don't reflect that appreciation. Their words, too, with the Page of Swords, like their communication, their words. That's a confusing energy. And maybe it has to do with the unresolved issues. They don't feel good enough for what you bring, and because of those, they're unable to act out of appreciation? I don't know. Get more. It's almost as if they're not recognizing the sacrifices that you are making in this. But it's almost like they're too distracted with something else. Not like another person or anything like that. I mean, it could be. I feel like you would know about that. But it's... Okay, it's interesting. Let me keep pulling. Okay, well... There is a Three of Pentacles here. Kind of a third-party energy. This doesn't have to be another person, though. I mean, it could be someone from their past. It could be a family member. It could be something that has nothing to do with you, but that isn't like... Yeah, I just gotta be careful when I see this Three of Pentacles, because yeah, it could be a third-party situation, but that could mean anything. A third-party energy could be anything. A person, a job, mental health issues, addiction. What are some other things? Like dealing with trauma, their healing journey. But they're stuck on something. Stuck on something unresolved, which has them sabotaging this connection. And it's almost as if you're waiting until this situation is resolved. And you're like, oh, when that situation's resolved, then things will be good. And that's why you're sacrificing in the meantime. So some third party situation is what keeps them from being able to fully invest. Again, I'm not saying, this is not me saying, oh, this person's cheating on you. So don't take it directly as that. Try to think deeper into what this might be. Maybe you already know. But there's something here that's keeping them from fully investing, from being able to fully invest. And it's so interesting that not feeling good enough for you, but at the same time not valuing you, is so interesting. It's such an interesting energy. People are funny, aren't they? Okay, Nine of Swords, the Hermit, Two of Pentacles in reverse. So they have imbalanced priorities too. You know, it's interesting because you could see the mirror here, right? You're not prioritizing yourself. You're getting that reflection back in them not prioritizing you in some way. This person actually has quite a bit of insecurity. They might not show it. but I do feel like they have quite a bit of insecurity. And that's why it's almost like, and maybe it's from whatever this unresolved issue is. They carry insecurity from this unresolved issue, which is why it's directly impacting this connection. This connection also brings up insecurity for them, because again, it's almost like they don't feel good enough for what you bring to the table. But that's so interesting that they then, you'd think like, if you don't feel good enough for something and something appears, you think you'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I get to experience this because I don't feel like I deserve this, right? That's not really what they're doing. It's like, I don't feel like I deserve this, so I'm kind of just gonna like treat it like it's, not that big of a deal. That's kind of how our brains tend to work. We sabotage what we feel we're not good enough for. But I do, and that's the biggest thing, is I feel like this person is dealing with quite a bit of insecurity regarding this connection, but it stems from something, this unresolved issues, this Three of Pentacles. I'm real curious about this person's energy, I'm not going to lie, Leo. But let's see. Maybe they're just busy. But that's not an excuse. I mean, if there's anything I've learned, it's that people make time for the things in their life that they're willing to prioritize. Being busy all the time is not an excuse. If they wanted to, they would, kind of thing. Leo's side of this connection. But let's get more. So because it's obvious that this is like heavily impacting you. Like there's just this like, let me love you. Just let me freaking love you. This person's like, I don't feel good enough for it, so I'm not going to accept it. Leo's side of the connection. There's that Nine of Wands again. And then there's the Three of Pentacles. Which is so interesting, because this Nine of Wands came out with the Two of Swords. This is the same Three of Pentacles, right? And then there's the Nine of Swords. I literally saw the Judgment in reverse over there too, but that doesn't matter. It's almost like, and this is the decision you have to make. It's like, yeah, on one hand, right, you see what this could be, but then on the other, whatever they're dealing with is getting in the way, and you feel like they're not handling it to be able to fully invest in this. So you're waiting on them to handle whatever this is going on, this third-party situation. Third party, that does not mean that it has to be another person. Like, I'm trying to think of other examples. But I can't. I'm going blank. Because I feel like I don't want to put the idea in your head. I feel like it needs to come from you. If this is your situation. So, but yeah, there's something that they're dealing with that you clearly see is in the way. You clearly see is in the way of this connection. But they have unresolved issues from it, which is keeping them from fully investing, which is draining your energy because you continue to give. Because you see this potential of what this could be, if they could just freaking get this together, get this figured out. Figured out. Get this figured out. That really resonates. Whatever this situation is, they need to figure it out. Three of Wands in reverse. Nine of Cups. Nine of Wands in reverse. World, Ten of Cups, and Wheel of Fortune. But this isn't the energy you're currently in. This is playing it safe, a little bit of self-sabotage here for what you think you want. Okay. So you obviously, you see this potential in this connection. You see the potential of what it could be, right? We've talked about that so much. I feel like the potential in this connection is like the number one thing that keeps coming through in this reading. But it feels as if something's in the way of them reaching that potential, and that's something that they're needing to deal with. But you keep showing up anyway, and you keep accepting way less than what it is you, first of all, deserve, but also desire, right? You desire this 10 of Cups. This is what you see as the potential in this connection. You desire this 10 of Cups, but you're not receiving this 10 of Cups. You're receiving the 3 of Swords. And so, but you keep investing out of hopes that this 10 of Cups happens. Because in your mind, should they figure this situation out, the 10 of Cups would appear. But if you just think pure, like, energetic transfer and how it works, we get back what we put out. So if you put out this energy of self-sacrifice, of giving way more than you're receiving, well, you're going to continue to receive that back. Continue to receive way less than what you're deserving of. And so the universe is asking you to take a deeper look at what it is that you desire when it comes to love. And then ask yourself, is this person giving me what I desire now? Or am I investing in this out of hopes that they can give me what I desire later? Because investing in the potential of somebody or what something could be is investing in something that doesn't exist. And there's absolutely no guarantee that that is ever going to happen. And especially if you continue to self-sacrifice. Because self-sacrifice is never required to receive love. A lot of us have grown up thinking that it does. We've grown up believing that self-sacrifice equals love, but in reality, self-sacrifice is a projection of our desire to be loved. It is not within itself love. And so I feel as if there's something here that you're needing to see, because again, you're at this crossroads, right? It's almost as if I'm gonna, yeah, that feels right. Okay. Leo, I feel as if you are more comfortable with bare minimum love than you are with receiving love. And let me explain that. I feel as if bare minimum love has been a theme in your life. Giving out way more than you receive, any kind of love you receive kind of being like the bare minimum. Now, I'm not saying it has to be that in all ways and all the time, but for the majority of your relationships, I do feel as if bare minimum love has been the theme. And it feels as if that's actually where you feel more comfortable. Now, that's where we get into the workings of the ego. Our ego prefers what it can control. This is kind of this energy of control with the Emperor in reverse. Our ego prefers what it can control, what it can predict. If you're really used to receiving bare minimum love, your ego knows that it can survive bare minimum love. It knows what self-sacrifice is like. It knows that it's going to be okay in those situations. So on some level, it actually seeks out bare minimum love because in your mind, that's actually safer. And you might be like, there's no way. I feel horrible when I'm receiving bare minimum love. It doesn't mean that you feel good about it. It means that your ego prefers it because it can predict it. It knows exactly how it's going to feel. That heartbreak that you're experiencing in this connection is all too familiar. And on a subconscious level, because 95% of our movements, choices, and decisions stem from our subconscious, only 5% of the way that we interact with our reality is conscious. So 95% of you prefers the bare minimum love that you're receiving in this connection because that is what you are so used to. That's so Interesting. So what's the overall point then? Let me get one more for you. It's like you're confusing what you want, what your soul actually wants when it comes to love, with the limiting idea of love that you think is possible. There it is, the Eight of Swords right there. Limiting beliefs. It's like you have this limited idea of what's possible for you in love. King of Wands. You could be dealing with another fire sign. But this could also just be your energy. But it's like, yeah, you have this limited idea of what's possible for you in love, which is like this bare minimum level of love. It's like you're taking what you can get because you don't think that you can receive any more than what it is that you're receiving. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Because you deserve to be a priority. You deserve to be loved in the way that you love. You deserve to be met where you're at, right? But I feel as if you're always waiting for that time while self-sacrificing in the meantime. And this connection is like the perfect example of that for you. Now let's see what this person's dealing with. This person's energy toward Leo. This person's energy toward Leo. See, they're not being honest with themselves about the fact that their priorities are imbalanced. It's like they don't want to admit that. They don't want to believe that. I feel like that's the same for you too, Leo, because I feel like you see such potential in this connection that you're like, no. That's why you have this, like, this card says sacrifices must be made. I feel like that's more of a belief than a fact. You believe that the sacrifices that you're making in this connection are necessary. Because the Ace of Cups in reverse is the need to be honest. And I feel like there is a mirror here because this person isn't being honest about the fact that their priorities are off. It's like they don't want to admit it to themselves. Oh, that's too many. Okay. I'm going to reshuffle really quick. There's the King of Wands again. This person's energy toward Leo. But why won't they just resolve this issue? That's what I want to know. I mean, not that all issues are just easy to be resolved, but Emperor, High Priestess, Emperor and High Priestess. Hang on, there's something here. Something in these two cards. This is their higher self. This is referring to their higher self. What about their higher self? What about their higher self? Whoa. Okay, this is gonna get real spiritual. It's almost as if you have this connection, like kind of in the 5D, to this person's higher self, to this person's like, their higher self, the best version of themselves, right? Which is where that potential lies, because it's almost as if this is the person that you love. You love their higher self, this person that they could be. But this is not the person they show up as because of trauma, insecurity, fear, ego. So the problem here is that there's a huge disconnect between this person's higher self and who they show up as. So the potential that you see is this person's higher self. But I don't think this person's higher self is who's making decisions for them. So you have this connection to them, but it's in the 5D. It's not in the 3D. Not saying you don't have any connection to them in the 3D, but the 3D connection is vastly different than the 5D connection. I can see how that would be wildly frustrating. Sorry about that. One more for this person's energy toward Leo. I also kind of feel like that ding was like a light bulb moment. Like, I don't know, like a realization or something. Because yeah, it's almost as if you're experiencing two different people in this person. Wild, okay. Their 5D self and 3D self are not at all aligned, and there's no guarantee that they will in this lifetime. But the 5D self, the lesson that you're needing to learn is based on the 3D self, not the 5D self. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. It's confusing too. See, this feels like more like your energy than theirs. Because you're the one waiting on an opportunity. Oh, whoa. Even if this connection did manifest, the tower would happen. Because this person has 3D obstacles to work through before they will be the version of themselves that you desire in them. So even if this connection manifested, it would fall apart because it's like this person isn't ready for it. Now, one of the biggest things I want to bring through is that this person not reaching that level of their higher self does not mean that you are not going to be loved or have the opportunity to be loved in the way that you desire through this person's higher self. That's why I feel like I went into that opening kind of spiel about soulmates and how we all have different soulmates or we all have many soulmates, and there is not one single person, think twin flame, that has to love us in order for us to experience the highest form of love in the 3D world. Okay, even if you believe someone is your twin flame or believe that they are, you do have a spiritual connection to them, which it's obvious that you do have a spiritual connection to this person. Them not reaching that level of themselves does not mean you can't be loved in the way that you deserve. So what I'm trying to say is the reflection of this person's higher self can come in the form of another person in the 3D. That's something that you're needing to know too. The reflection of this person's higher self can come in another form of a person in the 3D. But there's a lesson, because the attachment is to this person's 3D self. But there's a lesson associated with that. And it has to do with your limiting beliefs about bare minimum love. Wow. This is one of the more spiritual readings I've done recently. Okay, I'm going to hop on over to the extended. You have unlocked potentials with the 9 of Pentacles. So I'm going to pull 9 different messages looking at what is the deeper purpose of this connection and what is the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Any information for that is in the description box below. Thank you so much, Leo, as always, for your support of my channel. I obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Leo, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Leo.